The United States has two major political parties, the Democratic Party and the Republican Party, also called the GOP for Grand Old Party. The people who belong to or support these parties are called Democrats and Republicans. Each political party is known by its color. The Democratic Party's color is blue, while the Republican Party's color is red. Candidates that represent these parties often wear these colors on important days, such as Election Day. Each party also has an animal symbol. The Democratic symbol is a donkey, whereas the Republican symbol is an elephant. The U.S. parties are known as left or right-leaning. The Democratic Party is left-leaning or liberal, which means they value progress and equality. In comparison, the Republican Party is right-leaning or conservative, which means they respect tradition and believe in limited government. Voters that support these parties tend to have different priorities and ideals. The Democratic Party is popular with voters who prioritize community and social responsibility. In contrast, Republican voters tend to prioritize individual rights and the free market. The party platforms have a different stance on gay marriage, abortion, and gun control, though individual voters do have their own opinions on these personal issues. The two parties are also divided on the issues of immigration, taxes, and environmental policies. In some states, there is strong support for one of the parties over the other. For example, California and New York are largely Democratic. In comparison, Alabama and Oklahoma are strong Republican states. A few states go both ways, depending on the times. Connecticut is known as a safe state because it has voted blue for many years. But other states like Florida are known as swing states because votes can go both ways. Candidates have to work hard to win votes in these battleground states. Do you know any famous American presidents? Franklin Roosevelt and John F. Kennedy were Democrats. Barack Obama was also a Democrat. Famous Republican presidents include Ronald Reagan, George W. Bush, and Donald Trump. Which party do you think will win the next presidential election?
Welcome back. Let me ask you a question, Americans and black people who is living in America. Who is controlling America? Or who shut down the government of America? Republican or the Democrats? Because America is losing its own way, its own direction. America is losing everything. They build, or they take part in building it, but now they are destroying everything that have been building for decades with their own hands. America is losing. America is collapsing totally. There is a group of people that is controlling America in a very wrong direction. How do you summon somebody to go and raid the whole apartment? How do you summon somebody to go and lock airport? People are traveling. They are flooding in the airport. They want to travel to some places. They have booked their flight. And then you come and then you feel like, today I just shut down the government and I'll be okay. Why do you do that? So American, who is controlling American? Republican or Democrats? Who is in control of American economy and everything? So Trump is controlling everything under your nose. You are seeing it happening. There's no way America has been building everything for you, and you believe in somebody, you trust him, you give him the power, then he goes and make his own laws.
Democratic and Republican Party need to come together and create a uniparty and allow for another party to come to fruition that represents the 99%. I'm really tired of acting like Republicans or Democrats have Americans' best interest at heart when we all know that they just serve major corporations for the most part. In my heart of hearts, I know that Democrats and Republicans, for the most part, have way more in common than they disagree with. But there's so much division that's purposefully promoted to keep us separated, to allow the 1% to control us all. Now, I can acknowledge that at least the Democratic Party promotes LGBT rights and rights for people of color, but unfortunately that is no longer enough. Remember, the people in power, Congress, the Supreme Court, they all have the ability to remove money from our politics and make lobbying illegal, make PACs illegal, but they don't because it benefits them. In my eyes, the only way to combat the immense corruption that's going on in our government is to vote both Republicans and Democrats who are controlled by major corporations and the 1% out of Congress. We do not have to adhere to this system anymore. They like to make us think that we do, but no.
Hey, real quick. You want to know what the difference between Democrats and Republicans is? Democrats would feed 100 people for fear that one of them might starve. Republicans will let 100 people starve for fear that one of them might not deserve food.
Americans are in trade war with China and other countries that have been trying to invest in America for longest time. Because of Trump trying to raise his tariffs for them, they can't take it anymore. They can't take it easy that way. Now they are leaving to other countries. Let me use the example of Arkansas people. Arkansas have been farming soybeans for a while. But now it's funny that all of them are losing the main buyer of soybeans in America, which is China, because Trump has been doing all he can to raise his tariff up to 100% for China. China can't take it anymore.
The rich laugh at us while we fill their pockets and fight amongst ourselves. As we can see here, corporate profits have increased by 107% in the last 20 years, while employee compensation has only increased 27%. On top of that, we've become more productive as a society, and our wages still do not reflect that. The government loves that we try to place the blame on either the left or the right when it's both of them who are responsible for this. It is absolutely no secret that both Democrats and Republicans are funded by major corporations and millionaires. What's even more funny is that they don't even hide this from us. We know the stocks that they're investing in. We know what companies are lobbying, and we still sit back and do absolutely nothing. With midterms coming up next year, we need to make it clear to our representatives that we will no longer allow money to corrupt our government. How can either side say that they stand for the common person while getting...
And remember one thing, whenever there is something that is original, there is always a photocopy for it. Somebody must go somewhere, sit there and think of photocopying this thing that will, maybe somebody else, if he like this, he can buy it from here. You feel me? So Chinese or China moved from America to Brazil to buy their own soybeans. China moved from America to Argentina to buy their own rices. So American farmers have been losing it under their nose because they chose the right person and forget to choose their own self-interest. First thing first, you are your own boss. You choose him, it's a right way, yeah. Don't cry for voting for him, regretting because the nail is hitting you in the head. Because if this thing will not happen to you, you will never talk about it any single day. But today, because it's hitting you in the head, you are talking about it. Feel me?
I disagree with the argument that Israel controls America. Israel is America, France, and Britain in a trench coat. Those three countries drew up a new country and fund it completely so that they can maintain some power and leverage in the Middle East. There isn't an Israel by itself. When you know and accept this fact, all of the actions of America make so much more sense. We wouldn't not send bombs to ourselves. We wouldn't support the international courts if they were coming after our president. This is not about two countries who are allies or support for the Jewish community. This is literally America, France, and Britain ruling a section of the Middle East under the guise of some ancient religious texts and homeland verbiage. This is also why the fact that Netanyahu is super right-wing and supports Trump, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who's president of Israel, and it doesn't matter who's president of America or prime minister of France or Britain.
So let me just get this straight. This is what Republicans and Donald Trump are saying right now. They control the entire government. Trump is president, Republicans control the Senate, Republicans control the House, they control the Supreme Court, they control all the different government agencies, and somehow it is the Democratic Party's fault for the government shutting down. You know, it is just remarkable the crap they come up with and feed to their followers. And look, the only conclusion I can come to based off everything we're seeing right now with this government shutdown is that the Republicans at Fox News, the Republicans in Congress, all of these different people think that their followers, their fans, their voters are stupid. That's the only conclusion. They think that the MAGA people won't pay attention to the news, won't read the New York Times or whatever it is. But what they don't understand is that these Republican voters will also be impacted by them shutting down the government. The Democrats are saying, hey, let's expand access to healthcare for the American people. Let's reverse these insane Medicaid cuts. The Republicans are saying the millionaires and the billionaires, their tax cuts should remain. Let's give them even more tax cuts even. What message do you think is going to resonate with people? I think
So Americans, it's high time you think of, I'm white, he is black, we bleed the same blood, we are the same people. Another thing, how many of you have been laid off? If not someone is controlling you or the economy, how many of you have been laid off? This thing began from deportation. Deporting black people or anybody in the country without documents, no matter how they come from, Mexicans, no problem. But now, you have farms, you have products, yes, harvested, or else no one is there to harvest them for you. Okay, let me say harvested, but no one is buying them. Tariffs are high. So Trump is controlling the entire country under your own nose because of you giving him the authority to control everything under your own nose. So Americans, is high time, Republican or Democratic, you think now and think of how many people are you costing in that country? How many people are there lacking sleep because of you? Today, American life is so skyrocketing because everything is becoming beyond affordability. Everything is becoming scary. America now is now like a nightmare. Today, living in America is not a dream come true. It's a nightmare. And until when you will be crying. Somebody is here trying to, I can go to America and I can build my own future. Well, I'm in America and I build my own home in Africa and live a best life in Africa. So I have to shift and go live in America. So there's no way you can go there and build your own future in somewhere else. Because people who are there who have been building their own future in the country, they can never build any future in the country anymore.
Hey, Democrats, it's not that you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know how to talk to the American people. That is the problem. When Republicans get on the mic and say, Democrats shut the federal government down, you turn to that camera and say, yes, we did shut the government down. Ask us why. Ask us why we did it. Ask us why we risked a government shutdown. And then when the reporter asks, why'd you do it? It's because if we didn't do it, tens of millions of people would have their healthcare premiums doubled at the beginning of the new year. Doubled. It's already expensive. They would pay double. And also, millions of Americans would lose access to Medicaid, which is state-run, low-income health care. So we decided to stop Donald Trump and the Republicans for taking away health care from millions of Americans because we should not be able to take away rights and privileges that the American people have paid into for decades, only for Republicans in 2025 to shut that shit down and take it away.
If Democrats cause the government shutdown, why does the Republicans control the House and the Senate? If Democrats were the reason why the government is shut down right now, why was it that the Democrats were all sitting on Capitol Hill all day and all night on Tuesday waiting to negotiate something, and there wasn't one single Republican anywhere to be found? Republicans on Capitol Hill yesterday were like virgins on prom night. Nowhere to be found. The truth is that Republicans controlling the House and the Senate have been able to push through things like the big beautiful bill without any type of stop or prevention. And now Republicans having all of the control in the House and the Senate and a petulant man-child in the Oval Office that basically does whatever he wants are trying to blame the people without the control or the power because they don't have the integrity or self-respect to at least admit that they're the ones that are screwing hovering over the American people. And all of you Republicans who are sitting here and saying that the shutdown is good or that the Democrats are bad, just realize that it was the Democrats that were sitting on Capitol Hill looking to negotiate hours and hours and hours, and Republicans went on vacation. So while all of these federal employees have lost their jobs or not going to be getting paid for the next how many days until the government actually opens back up, realize the Republicans didn't care about you, didn't care about your job. And
anyways, this is Global Pulse, Global Health. Subscribe, share, and leave a comment in the comment section, because there's more to share to you. That's why I don't do long videos. I just do them short, then I give them to you to watch. So there is a lot more to see, and I promise you, subscribe here and I will never disappoint you in supporting my videos every single day. 6, a new video, 10, a video, 12, a video, 2 a.m. a video, and 5 a.m. a video every single day. Subscribe, share, and leave a comment. Till next time, I'm out, and peace be with you.